a cop who is attempting to stump over your civil rights. Flawless.
That kid I got to talk to. I don't care if you're upset. You want me to just call your PO? We can search you right down the street? That's what I thought. You need to talk to me.
For what, officer?
I'm going to tell you what.
What law am I breaking?
I've been looking for you for a long time.
What law am I breaking? What law am I breaking, officer?
I just need to have a conversation.
Yeah, but what law am I breaking?
The law that you broke.
What's your badge number, sir?
My badge number is 5481 Ossoff.
All right, how about you?
Back when we arrested that kid for the gun and you walked off, it was very clear that you had something to do with it. So you can record me all you want.
I don't have anything, sir.
No, I'm not going to search you, but we're going to have a conversation. You want to do it like a man, or you want to record me?
No, it's staying on, sir.
Okay, that's
fine. From my lawyer and all that.
How did you know that kid?
I didn't know.
You know, he snitched on you.
I don't know what he's talking about. I was in the park chilling.
You know what he's talking about? You don't want to get locked up again?
Sir, I have no clue what you're talking about. If there's anything, tell him.
Do you want to talk to the man now?
I don't want to talk.
Well, you don't have a
It's
choice.
my constitutional right. I do not have to speak to you, sir.
Okay, so you're choosing to tell me that you had nothing to do.
I had nothing to do with anything, sir. I do not know what you're talking about.
In the comment.
No, sir. I was chilling in the park. That's a public park.
I just want to make it.
That's a public park,
the
sir.
whole world knows it's a public park. So what you're telling me is you didn't know the guy, right?
No, sir.
Never seen him before in your life?
Bro.
Did you know the girl?
I don't know anything what you're talking about, sir. Can you please leave me alone?
The young man knows his constitutional rights. He continues. Here it is.
No, right now you're detained as part of this investigation.
For what?
As for a firearm investigation. We haven't seen you down here since then.
Okay, sir, I don't come out anymore. I have a job, sir.
No, I know you do, but you're not allowed to leave. You can say whatever you want. You don't have to answer questions, but you and I are having a conversation.
Okay, sir.
Okay? My hope is that...
What's your reasonable doubt for our conversation?
You're making up words. It's called reasonable suspicion to believe that you were involved in a crime, a firearm arrest here.
Wasn't someone already charged with that?
Several months ago.
Someone was already charged with it, correct?
Now I'm questioning you about...
I have nothing to do with it.
So I just want to make this very clear on body camera and on yours, that what you're telling me is you didn't know that guy.
Bro, I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Okay,
I don't want to talk.
That's fine.
Talk to my lawyer, please.
I just want to make it very clear.
Talk to my lawyer, please. I don't answer questions.
So what you're telling me is you don't want to claim any ownership of your friendship with him?
I do not answer questions.
You had nothing to do with the gun?
I do not answer questions, sir.
You had nothing to do with the gun?
I don't answer questions.
Okay.
Talk to my lawyer.
Look out for a call from your PO.
All right, bet. Am I free to go?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, sir.
I'm not kidding.
Yep.
Put up the picture full mask. You know, I almost put this cop as I wish a Karen would. Now, this officer who seems to be upset that somebody knows the law, how perverted is it for a person to engage in a career called law enforcement and not like people who know the law? That's insane. That's like becoming a professor and not liking people to learn. But I digress. The video was uploaded to TikTok about a week ago by user Gleib45, who captured the interaction. Boston PD detectives harassing me after telling them I don't want to talk. It seems very simple, doesn't it? It seems very direct, very simple. And officer, you're right, it was reasonable suspicion. That was the word he was looking for. And you failed to articulate it. You still failed to articulate the reasonable suspicion because he perhaps, maybe, potentially, he knows someone who was arrested for a gun charge or weapons charge. That is your reasonable suspicion. That doesn't make sense. And then the reckless nature of your investigation, officer. You just said that somebody snitched on him. You know, in certain communities, that becomes a death sentence to the individual you may have just lied on, and definitely you operated outside of investigative prowess to provide that information. I mean, what are you doing? And then threatening to call the PO on someone for, I don't know, not breaking the law. You see how ridiculous this is, sir? Put up the picture full mask. Let's go ahead and get your boss involved. The police commissioner, Michael A. Cox, heads the Boston PD. Sir, you are, Mr. Commissioner, you are a well-decorated executive leader in law enforcement. And you have said you champion the rights of citizens. You know what this cop did violated multiple norms in investigative practices, and it also attempted to violate the actual rights of a citizen. The reason why I want to bring this to your attention directly is because this is why defunding of the police actually happens. Individuals like this violating the simple but profound protections of its citizens. Ben, thoughts here?
I mean, Doc, there's an epidemic of young black men not breaking the law out there.
Obviously.
And police have to get involved. They have to get involved and make sure that young black men who are not breaking the law get harassed just like they are breaking the law. I think that's common sense if you are a corrupt, slanted, biased individual. I mean, enough already. Thank goodness this young man knew his rights and knew how to talk his way out of that situation. I wish everyone did. It would increase their likelihood to not be extrajudicially harassed by officers. Unfortunately, it won't always work, but it'll help. It'll make them aware that he's taken the steps that might backfire on this officer if he continues this harassment. So it worked out in his favor this time. I hope people watching this, regardless of your race, regardless of your situation, take notes and realize that you can't be detained without probable cause, that you can't be detained if there's nothing that you did, and you can ask to be let go when you're being detained against your will if you did nothing, and you don't have to speak to an officer or answer their question. It's not a court of law. It is a stop, and if there's no immediate safety threat, you will be free to go on your way, but obviously do it respectfully like this young man did in a way that does not amp the situation up.
Yeah,
good lessons
and
here.
that right, all around. And if there was real reasonable suspicion, he would have been detained physically. They would have put handcuffs on him or taken him to the precinct.